Tarkir Dragonstorm is here with an extremely powerful upgrade to Mono White Initiative. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to the very first video with Tarkir Dragonstorm featuring a dragon, very thematically. Clarion Conqueror, 3/3 flying dragon, 2 and a white, activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. A super null rod from the Clarion Conqueror here. Its biggest and most important ability is going to be activated abilities of artifacts. So it's a null rod, just like our sideboard null rods here. But it's worth noting that creatures is not a small amount either. One of the bigger problems this deck has faced in recent times is Psychic Frog outgrowing its creature size. So this is actually trying to turn off the ability of Psychic Frog as well. So that's a really big upside. This card looks like a perfect slam dunk win for Mono White Initiative. However, I have been cautioning people because Mono White's Initiative's mana base is awful at casting its spells. It has Ancient Tombs, it has Wastelands, it has Cavern of Souls with a bunch of different creature types, and this is going to add another creature type to this deck. So it might be a simple play pattern change. You're not going to slam this on turn 1 unless you have certain mana situations. You aren't going to play this super early. Maybe this is your finishing capping move. Maybe you're trying to, slam it on Archon at first, then follow up with Initiative, then follow this up. Because we need to be very careful. We have lots of artifacts in our deck, and turning them off might make it so we can't cast spells. However, if it's a simple play pattern change, no problem. This can be a slam dunk 4 of inside of Initiative. If it's an deck building change, that's going to be a little harder. Don't feel like you can really cut Ancient Tombs and Wastelands, and then you're really leaning heavily on things like Chrome Mox to make your white mana. So this might be really a harder fix. Maybe it has to be relegated to more of like a 2 of, or maybe just a 2 in the main, 2 in the side. You bring them in for certain matchups where it's a really big haymaker. Or maybe there's some kind of change in the mana base that I'm missing that will really help produce extra white mana. I don't know the answer. I don't put a lot of time into these Mono White Initiative decks, but I want to keep an eye on what they're doing and how they're progressing for when I build my decks against them. So what I've done is I've taken basically a stock Initiative list. I think I started with maybe the Las Vegas Chaos list, and I took in some things from Gracias, and just took like pretty close to a stock looking list. And then what I've done is I've taken out some of the techie cards like the Solitude, and I've taken out 2 of the Peacekeepers in exchange for 4 Clarion Conquerors in the main. Like I said, I'm not sure that's the correct way to do this, but that's just the first thing I want to try. Basically, what we want to watch for in this test league is how much is Conqueror a downside? Because I don't think we need to test if Conqueror is good. I think Conqueror is just going to be good if you put it into play. What we need to test for is, does our mana base need to change? Do our play patterns need to change? That's what we're going to look for in this league. If it's minor things like small play pattern changes, maybe some small extra white sources need to be added, then maybe this is a resurgence of Mono White Initiative into the metagame, where Mono White Initiative has really fallen off in the last few months, up to a year. So that's going to be happening today in our test league. I will see you in round 1. The legendary NYSE Open returns to Long Island in New York. This 9th installment will be a 15 proxy, $500 entry fee tournament where the top 8 will return home with 8 pieces of real unlimited power. Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxins will be part of this celebration of vintage. At 100 players, there'll be an additional wacky draft with classic booster packs from Ice Age to Onslaught, the NYC Trophy, Karn Altars, $1,000 in giveaways, dealers, and much, much more. Check out the link below for all the details. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. All right, we're here to battle Mono White Initiative versus no Lurrus Reveal. I have quite the hand, doesn't it? I don't know. Are you supposed to keep this hand, man? This is why I don't play Mono White Initiative. What the hell is this? This is a land, this is a land, this is a land. This is a dead card, basically. I could pitch Peacekeeper and Dungeoneer and play an Archon, but then I have to, like, find a land and another Archon or something. God, I don't know. I could never keep this hand, but are you supposed to? If you hit another white card in the start, then you don't have to pitch the Seasoned Engineer, and you can play the Archon, and then you should hit a land and play Seasoned Engineer. That could be good, theoretically. All the freaking Clarions are dead because I turned off my whole deck. I don't know. If I hit an Ancient Tomb, this hand's pretty good, though. All right, I'm going to try keeping this. I can be told by the better Mono White Initiative gamers in the Discord comments or the YouTube comments or whatever that this is outrageous. How could you ever keep it? Opponent's also mulligan to 5. Maybe they're Dredge, and I can just go a Peacekeeper Slam. Who knows? Not I. I don't know anything. This is a lot of Chrome Moxes, though. In fact, this is too many Chrome Moxes. I would like one Chrome Mox, and probably every Mono White Initiative hand should have one Chrome Mox. That's what I've decided. If I can't have like a Mox Pearl or I can't have a Lotus, like give me the one Chrome Mox. That would be okay with me. We'll see. Opponent is debating this 5-card hand, which means it's probably not Bizarre. Because if it was Bizarre, it doesn't seem like it'd be much of a debate, right? Clarion Go. My opponent has hit us with a 5-card Clarion Go. I see. All right, I'm going to play a Chrome Mox. I don't know if I want to go Archon. I guess I can go Archon, and then I can go White Plume after. That seems like the best line, right? Beta Force with the Archon. I mean, if they force the Chrome Mox, I'm in. Sold. I have too many Chrome Moxes. I would love my opponent to go to 2 cards, force this Chrome Mox. Let me... Aw, sad. I'm great. I'm going to put an Anointed Peacekeeper on the Chrome Mox. That's what I've decided to do with my life. My opponent is in a rough spot. All right, I have another Chrome Mox. How does that make you feel, opponent? Doesn't make you feel. Okay. I'm going to put the 4-drop underneath it, and then I'm going to play this as a Meadow. And then I'm going to make it so it's hard for them to play the game. I got a Force. Okay. Pitching a Lorien. Okay. One of their lands, possibly. And then do you have a second one? No. All right. So I have the initiative, but I have no restrictive abilities in play. This is a time where I think I would want a dragon. I'll hold that, I guess. What's the downside? Vexing Bauble. Do you concede to my White Plume Adventure? No? Oh, Saint. All right. Soul Ring? Mandival. Uh-oh. Tinker? I see why they kept this hand now. Jeez, okay, my bad. I mean, I cast the spell that mattered. Maybe I'm supposed to bait with this thing instead. I'm gonna lose! Bro, I can't play this stupid deck. Oh my god. How does my opponent keep Tolarian, no mana, go, and win? Tinker. Tinker's how. I think we're dead, chat. I even, like, got the payoffs. Oh my lord. What is happening, man? Okay, well, that's Mono White Initiative gaming at its finest. I don't think my hand kind of worked out. Like, I played the turn 1 Archon, and then I played the turn 2 Initiative Creature. So, like, it was good. I did the thing. It just wasn't good enough. Couldn't beat a Force. Didn't have a Cavern, I guess. Well, I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Well, the good news is my opponent passes the turn, I win. The bad news is my opponent's not passing the turn. Wait, what can you get out of the Karn board? Can you get like, is there like a one ring or something? Maybe there's a one ring. All right, there is a one ring. God bless. They have a mana crypt. I guess they can sack it to Citadel if they want, though. All right, the best card I can possibly draw from this spot is... it doesn't matter. Stock up. There's no way stock up misses, right? Surely. Surely there's no way stock up misses. I actually don't have any good draws. Because all my Moxen are turned off by my opponent's Null Rod. That's kind of what I'm saying, though. Like, if I'm playing a dragon that's a Null Rod in my deck, like, how am I casting my spells? Ancient Tombs. Another stock up. Chain him. I don't like that Tinker is back in the metagame. Who did this? I know who did this. Musasabi did this, and then Tony Scaponi did this. But can we please get rid of Tinker? We don't need Tinker. We don't need Tinker in the metagame. No one asked for some Tinkers. I didn't ask for Tinker. All right, well, the good news is I am now on the play. I will take out some removal, and I will bring in some... I think... man, I don't really like ley lines very much. Why is there a stone? Oh my god, there's a stone coil serpent in my sideboard. Did y'all see that in the intro? Did anyone notice the stone coil serpent in my sideboard? I forgot that we started from the copy paste error. Okay, well, the good news is I have an extra card to bring in against Frog. The bad news is I have a 14 card sideboard. Okay. I don't think we want Anointed Peacekeeper. I think we want Null Rods, but this is a lot of Null Rods. This is 8 Null Rods. That's 1,000,000 Null Rods. The one of Leyline, go get him. I mean, I don't want Containment Priest. I feel like March is not that good. I don't really like Peacekeeper in this matchup anyways. There's too many things you can do. Yeah, I'm just going to go like this. I guess if they sideboard into something like a Shieldred... I have Krakus, so it's probably fine. This is definitely too many Null Rods, though. I don't need 8 Null Rods. 8 is so many Null Rods. It's not even like Null Rod's that good against Beseech. Like, it's good against Beseech, but it's not like it's so good against, like, it's not like it's PO or something. But, like, what else am I doing? I'm not playing Swords. I could play March. I could play more Ley Lines. Maybe I'll play more Ley Lines. Maybe I'll play 2 Ley Lines, 3 Null Rods. That is the sign of... genius sideboarding. Genius deck building. I don't like it very much. But what am I going to do? My opponent's going to counter my first spell, and then they're going to untap and tinker me? Probably. Yeah, so this Stonecoil Serpent is a thing that Chaos does when he plays his one of Karn, so he can minus into the Stonecoil Serpent. But I did not see that in my sideboard. It must have been hanging out because it was an X. So I must have had a 14-card sideboard with the Stonecoil hanging off a Scream. I just thought it was a 15-card sideboard because it said 15 at the top, but there was a sneaky serpent. A sneaky snake. All right, what are we waiting for? What are we sideboard? What's going on? Come on. I can only entertain myself for so long, and thus entertain YouTube. Are you entertained, YouTube? Is watching me play a non-forcible deck, is that entertaining? Is that prime entertainment? You know, they're probably double Q. Let's be real here. When else do you wait out the whole timer? I'm telling you, we need to remove double Q from MTGO. That's what I'm thinking. So this is a Chalice, or sorry, this is a double Chancellor into Chalice Vexing Bauble. And then I would draw with my Bauble, because I don't really think I need my Bauble if I have a Chalice. All right, this seems fine. feel like this is enough. I guess I could theoretically chalice on 1. It's kind of hard to do. Let's see. I could go Chromox, Bobble. But then I'm not cracking my Bobble, and I kind of want to crack my Bobble. So I think chalicing on 0. Chalice on 1 is actually kind of good against like the Dark Ritual part of this deck. But chalice on 1 is pretty good against the Dark Ritual part of this deck. But I can't really let them... If I don't crack my Bobble, I can just play a Bobble and then on the next turn play a chalice on 1. I don't think so. I think I'd rather cycle this Bobble so I can get closer to casting spells. Okay. I'm covered. I guess if I keep the Bobble, I can't get forced. I have like triple counter. They're gonna play a Mox here, and it's gonna counter. It's gonna get countered by. Yeah, got him. I have countered your Mox Sapphire in 4 different ways. Okay, maybe this deck is Cinema. Okay, now I'll draw the Ancient Tomb. It'll be great. Thoughtseize? Am I getting Thoughtseize? That's fine. I'm so far away from casting a good spell. Does it matter? Oh, Dark Ritual? Soul Ring? Demonic Tooth? Karn? My bad, I guess. Oh, not like this. Wait, they can just kill my Chalice of the Void. All right. I don't know if I can do 5 rounds of mono white initiative. Was I supposed to mull? There's just no way, right? I mean, I did regret not playing a Chalice on 1. There was some regret there. They got an Opal, so they know the play. I even drew the freaking Ancient Tomb. I would have gone off. But now I don't have any white mana. I'm just dead. I have to keep this so I can play the Seasoned Dungeonaire, but I can't play the Seasoned Dungeonaire. I actually was going to go and no, I guess I wasn't going to. Yeah, I had 4 mana. I was gonna. This was all going to work, and then I got Dark Ritual Karned. I guess I'm dead. Yeah. Okay. You sure? Okay. My bad. Talarian Academy. I see you. Tinker. All right. Well, I think we can take solace in knowing no matter what I chose to do, I was never ever winning this match, which sounds like every mono white match. All right. We have found a vessel that can only mean a Clarion Conqueror mirror. Yep. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. What is? I mean, it's a keep, but like. It's a keep, but I'm gonna put this thing on a Chrome Mox real quick is what I'm gonna do. Play this one first to play around Vigor. Think I'd rather have a Swords versus Wessel than a Clarion Conqueror turning off my team. Cleric. I have taken the initiative. Like, yeah, I'm getting a basic, so I can technically like play a Conqueror on turn 2 if I had, but like I lose two mana for that. I lose 3 cards for that. Like if they are a artifact deck, maybe it's worth it, but I don't think he's an artifact deck, so I'm forging. I'm going down the I'm going down, not down the lost well, never down the lost well. All right. Beats by WPA. Tropical Island, go. All right, trap you. Bam. Black Lotus. Let's see. All right, well, I'm gonna attack. I don't think I'm playing this Witch Enchanter, though I don't know what it's doing in my hand. Do they have a bounce spell or something? Like, what's going on here? What are we pausing about? What are we doing with our Tropical Island? Tropical Island Wasteland Vessel makes me think Bant Archon. Maybe Bant Archon, Noble Hierarch, Archon of Emeria, and maybe this Clarion Conqueror. Is it Clarion? Clarion. Or YouTube yells at me. We wouldn't want that. I am against the idea of playing a white Witch Enchanter. I don't think I'm going to play it as a land either, though. I think I want to hold it in case my opponent's on, like, Forbidden Orchard, Oath, Bounce Your Guy or something. I feel like we should play around that possibility. I think this is a prime example of why Wessel hates Mono White Initiative, because how are you going to play Green White Noble Hierarch when your opponent is slamming initiative creatures down? All right, so I definitely want to get these Peacekeepers in here because they're additional creatures, and I want to get these swords in here because they're additional removal. I don't really want Stone Coil Serpent. I don't think I'm ever going to want Stone Coil Serpent. Chalice on the draw looks bad. Vexing Bauble looks bad. And then from there, maybe we just take some Chancellors out on the draw. I kind of want all the creatures I can get. Try that. All right. What do we got? Okay, like, look at this hand. Look at this hand. You're telling me that I'm supposed to be playing a Clarion Conqueror in my deck? That I'm going to put this card underneath a Chrome box every single time we draw it. Oh, boy. All right, I'm playing it slow. I'm gonna put a Clarion Conqueror under this Chrome box. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, this is not a matchup where the card is good, to be fair, but it is kind of a example of the problems that I foresaw happening. Is this gonna be basic island, basic? It is Oath of Druids. All right. Wait, I didn't bring in my Containment Priest though. I just didn't think it was Oath of Druids. Well, the good news is I didn't play a creature. The bad news is I have to find one of my 4 Witch Enchanters and 1 March of the Otherworldly Light, because I did not bring in that. Maybe I should just brought in the Containment Priest. Like, I saw Tropical Islands, so I should just hedge. Yeah, I probably was supposed to just hedge. Actually, the Stone Coil Serpent gets a little bit better now. Well, the good news is I didn't play a creature, so I'm not dead. The bad news is I can't play a creature, so I'm pretty much dead. Also, I have 2 Swords to Plowshares in against my opponent's Oath of Druids deck. Not ideal. That is part of the problem with winning too quickly in game 1. But I saw Tropical Island, but I also saw Wasteland. But there are a lot of Pyroblast versions of Oath playing now, so yeah, I think there's a little here, a little there, little push, little pull. Not sure. I think if I thought Oath was in range, then it would have made sense. I just didn't feel like Oath was in range for Wessel, but you know, I was wrong. They just been a land. No, I put a card on top. All right, well, I'm gonna wasteland you. That's not allowed. I guess it was a little greedy because if my opponent found a Forbidden Orchard, I want to be able to hold the Wasteland for Forbidden Orchard and then still Swords the creature. So that was probably wrong. I mean, I'm okay with this. There's my Witch Enchanter. Oh, wait, bring back my Ancient Tomb. I would have had 4 mana. All right. Well, I'm gonna hold that because that's my way out. Maybe we can surprise them with a random cavern. It's a March of the Otherworldly Light. That one's pretty good too. All right. I think we'll wait. Does this help me? Not really. So they are red. They have 2 Surveil lands. I don't mind that in Oath. But, I mean, if you're like a more controlling Oath that's not trying to play Oath right away. Island Cycle. Okay. I was hoping to catch my opponent not casting some spells, but... I'm going to get rid of one of these Swords to Plowshares. Done. March that. Got a force? Got a force. All right. Force pitching Atraxa. Makes sense. Now what? Clarion Conqueror. Yep. Okay. If I had like a bunch of mana, then maybe I could like play Anointed Peacekeeper, turn off Force. I mean, probably not, because it only just costs, what, 2 more? Uh-oh. That's a problem. I'm gonna lose my Chrome Mox. Now I don't have very much mana. Yep. Well, I kept one sword in kept one sword in hand. Got a force. I'll just probably concede to a force, right? I guess I could draw Black Lotus. All right. Land is correct. Land is a start. So if next turn I draw an Ancient Tomb, and I play a Chrome Mox, and I cast a Witch Enchanter, and then I have to hope they don't have a force. Okay. Wasteland would be good at 2. You want to Wasteland me? Probably. I assume so. Just keep me off mana. I mean, if they have a force, then maybe they can get away with not. Obviously, they lose like another thing here. All right, I am now 1 mana away. Of course, using my Chrome Mox is dangerous, because if they counter my Wish Enchanter, then Oko can turn on the thingy. Can make it an elk. I don't know if I'm really beating an Oko at 9 after my Oath. After I kill an Oath, but... You know... Why not try, right? Why not try? I guess I'm going to get rid of a Clarion Conqueror. That's a recurring theme. And then I'm going to try to play a 2/2. And then if this gets countered, I will concede. And if it doesn't get countered, I will concede. Okay, resolved. I think my opponent wants this to resolve so they can just win with Oko, but that's fine. I gotta try to win. You know, I gotta play my game here. Wasteland my White Source. You can do that too, yeah. I was thinking like Wasteland my White Source, turn this Chrome Mox into an Elk. I feel like that would have been slightly better. Just like keep me off of mana completely. Let's see. Oh, they have another force. So I think they let this Witch Enchanter resolve. But they didn't have to let the Witch Enchanter resolve. They could have countered it and then elked the Moxen. I think that would have been even better, but that's okay. I think they're going to win with an Oko anyways. Force of Negation, Mental Misstep. Okay. Oko is going to cost 2, which is fine. Oko, Thief of Crowns. I don't think I can ever really remove this from the battlefield, so... I'm not seeing the vision here. I'm just seeing the dead Justin. I guess I'm gonna... Time walk off the top? All right, you got me. All right, well, the good news is Containment Priest can come in. And also all of these other things. And then the bad news is... I don't think there's bad news. Is there bad news? Maybe these Clarion Conquerors come out is the bad news. They're probably only on 4 Moxen anyways. Or 3 Moxen and a Lotus, I should say. All right, let's try this. Yeah, like these hands that I keep having here are just like not a great Clarion hands, right? All right, I have a Chancellor, so my Anointed Peacekeeper is uncounterable. And then I will play Ancient Tomb, make a Soul Ring, make a Mox. Oh, I did not need to use my Ancient Tomb. My bad. It's fine. Hides the Strip Mine from my opponent. Mindbreak Trap. I guess that is a problem, yeah. I was probably always playing into Mindbreak Trap here, though. Double Mindbreak Trap. I should not have played my Soul Ring. My bad. I could have just gone Ancient Tomb, Pearl, go. I'm sorry, Ancient Tomb, Pearl, play my Peacekeeper. All right. That's my fault. My bad. I guess I can't get dazed here anyways, so probably shouldn't have done that first. All right, I played this game pretty badly. If I just like didn't turn on Mindbreak Trap, I'd be very easily winning. I wanted to get like maximum value, and there was just no reason to do such a thing. So now I'm kind of in a bad spot. I want to play this as a land. So I can theoretically play the Chancellor. If I draw a white source. Wow, I played this really badly, and I actually am getting punished for it, which I think is pretty sweet. Chromox. Yeah, I'm down. They didn't play an Oath that turn, so I'm down to just slam it. Second force. I got punished really bad for my bad sequencing. I think it definitely makes sense to just go Pearl, Tomb, play the Peacekeeper. Don't turn on Trap at all. Yeah. Uh-oh. They can do this, and then they can play an Oko. An Oath. Yeah, I guess so. An Oath works too. I got rid of all my Oath answers, so. Clarion Conqueror. Perfect. I guess I just lose. All right, I played this game extremely badly and deserve to lose because of it, so that's fine. I did not have to go all in on casting this Chancellor either. I can draw a Caracas. That's kind of the only way out. Man. I'm bad at this game. I deserve to lose. Yeah, but like I said, I think if you had a good player play this game, they probably just win as Mono White Initiative here. They get to resolve a Peacekeeper on the start. And then she gets to attack, trip up the opponent. So I think that's a good thing. Cast Cruise, I guess. I can't get through this, and it's not going to work against Strip Mine if I draw Caracas now, so I actually think I'm on 0 out. Oh, they use the Caracas, but they have a Renin 6 in their hands. They just need to resolve a Renin 6, and it's still fine. So I think that play is like a little greedy because I can draw Caracas now, but I didn't draw Caracas now, so I will just concede. I played badly and lost because of it, though, so that's good. All right, we're back at it for round 3. We're gonna try to play this a little closer to the chest, a little smarter. I think it's very clear to me where the play percent, or not the play percent, but where your win rate increases when you play a deck like this. And the way your win rate increases is by proper sequencing. And obviously, in our last game, we chose an incorrect sequence and got rightfully punished by a double Mind Break trap. But it was, completely avoidable by just like not trying to maximize your value, but trying to play the most correct sequence. So that being said, we move on here. We're going to start with a nice broken hand. This is the kind of hand you're always looking for on Mono White Initiative. We've got the Chancellor to make our Archon uncounterable. Opponent's not going to be able to disrupt us. And then we can get an initiative creature going on turn 2. So yeah, this is basically the other way to get your win rate up with Mono White is have hands like this. But I do think, even though I did make the wrong play, it's good that we got to show why it was the wrong play, because a lot of times you'll make the wrong play and you won't realize it's the wrong play because you're not always going to get punished for making the wrong play. Yeah, Wasteland can't even disrupt this. Very nice. Though they can obviously have a force now. We definitely not want to see a force here. There's positives and negatives to leading on initiative creature versus leaning on Archon, but in general, I'm always going to lean on Archon, especially when it's uncounterable. It's going to just disrupt my opponent's deck no matter what deck they're on. If they're on Bazaar, it's a tap Bazaar. If they're on a Wasteland, it's a tap Wasteland. If they're on a Mox deck, they can only play one Mox. It's just an extremely effective hate bear, especially in Vintage. So where does my opponent go from here? A tapped Glacial Chasm. Creatures you control can't attack, prevent all damage to be dealt to you. Okay. That's not going to go well for my opponent because they have to sack this Wasteland to keep this in play. It's going to be really hard to get value here. I don't have a Wasteland to match this, though, so I won't be doing any damage to them right away. Would I rather Forge or go down the Lost Well? I might go down the Lost Well just to get a Wasteland, because I'm going to be winning with my creatures on board anyways. Clarion Conqueror. Is that something that I want to be doing? Definitely don't want a Soul Ring, but do I want a Clarion Conqueror? I guess it doesn't really hurt. I'm going to hold on to these Witch Enchanters just in case I can maybe hit like a fast spawn with them or something. The reason I decided to keep the Clarion Conqueror was because I feel like it would maybe prevent some kinds of strong plays from the opponent. Like if they were to this turn play a land, play a fast, like play basic forest fat. I don't know. I don't actually know if this does anything. A lot of times these decks are no rod decks. I guess they don't have. They only have to do is pay life every turn. So I think I would rather go down the arena so I can draw an extra card on the next turn instead of getting a catacombs. Like I said, I think a wasteland is the most important thing from here. If I play this bauble, take some damage to play this bauble so I can hold up in March. I don't know. Like, again, I don't actually know that playing the bauble is helping me, but I don't exactly know what kind of cards are going to be coming out of the lands combo deck, I assume. The March at least can hit a 20/20 if that's a problem, though I have like a bunch of blockers too, so it's not too bad either way. Okay, so there's a Thespian stage, so they can make 20/20, but again, I have an answer, and it's not even swords, so... Now, if I get a wasteland on this draw, is it better to wasteland the chasm, or better just wasteland this Thespian stage? All right, I'll draw an extra card here. Clarion Conqueror. I think I will play another uncounterable dragon and hold open. What this uncounterable dragon will do is if my opponent does, when my opponent does end up dropping this glacial chasm, I'll have like a big group of attackers to attack through a 20/20. So green crop rotation then. Crop rotate the glacial chasm away. Oh, you forgot about my Chancellor trigger on turn 5. Unlucky. Maybe they have an Elvish Spirit Guide. Nah, they forgot about it. That's kind of wild. The old turn 5 Chancellor trigger, huh? I also have a Throne of the Dead coming. It's a fast spawn, maybe? A Loam. I don't know. Loam. Okay, loam back the chasm. Play the chasm. Okay. They're not really getting anywhere fast, but they are stopping themselves from dying. All right, stage is dead. All right, now I'm Throne of the Deading. I'm going to put in a Chancellor, I guess. Whatever, just attack with everything. Oh, my whole team untaps now because I have completed the dungeon. This is quite the game of Magic the Gathering that we've seen. This is the power of Archon of Emeria. I have a feeling that this game would have been kind of hard for me if I didn't have an Archon on turn 1. Excuse me. I don't know. It's not like they can keep this up forever. I'm not 100% sure of the plan. As long as there's a glacial chasm. Again, I should just go down the Lost Well when I get to the Lost Well, because that'll have higher chance of wastelands. Just play another Archon. I guess I can get like Tabernacled or something, but I have enough things to keep my guys in play forever, so I can do lands. I mean, not all of my guys, just some of them. And they can't crop rotation still because of cost 1 extra here. All right, the Glacial Chasm goes away, and then they're going to loam back the Glacial Chasm, but they have to pay 3 mana to loam back the Glacial Chasm because there's a Chancellor. So I think they're dead because of the Chancellor hit on the Throne of the Dead. Kind of a wild game. All right, so I'm going to bring in Leyline of the Void because my opponent's definitely a graveyard-based land stack. I might keep some Swords to Plowshares in. Kind of like the idea of Peacekeepers. If I had to cut 6 cards, I don't really feel like my opponent's a deck that cares about Clarion Conqueror again, so we're gonna board that one out. Chalice on 1 could be pretty good, but Vexing Bauble is definitely gonna go. I might take the Chalice out on the draw still, or just in general. I mean, Chalice on 1 is clearly good, so I probably should just keep it. Maybe I just keep 1 Swords and 1 March, call it a day. Okay, let's try that. I can see this matchup being kind of challenging, especially on the draw. These lands decks that are doing Glacial Chasm things. I don't actually have a... Oh, I forgot I have Caracas, too. I don't have a creature payoff here, but Leyline should help a little bit. I have a Wasteland in my opener. I do have fast mana. If I draw a creature, it's probably good enough to keep. The good news is I've turned off a lot of their strongest draws with this Leyline, I hope, but Black Lotus is certainly scary. I do have an answer to a what's the 3 mana enchantment or Fast Bond. Fast Bond gets a lot less scary when I have a Leyline, though. They can't do like bizarre wasteland loops. I have an answer for that as well. I'm thinking I guess they could make a 2020 right now, right? So if my opponent crop rotates their Taiga into a Thespian stage and makes a 2020. So to play around that, I have to play out my Wasteland right now or play out my Caracas. But if I play out my Wasteland right now, if I play out my Caracas right now, they can go slower. So I will play out my Wasteland right now and pass. But yeah, gotta be aware of that kind of play. That's a thing that you'll just see and learn about over time. Haywire Might. Probably a Saga target that kills my Leyline. It's pretty sweet. This is gonna be an interesting game. Let's see what happens. All right, they've cracked the Black Lotus. Triple green. Kill the Leyline. Double green. Now what? Some kind of fast bond stuff. The Juka Bog. Okay. 2 cards left in my opponent's hand. Dredge. Loam, no targets. All right, well, that's certainly bad for me. They got rid of my Leyline. Now that they don't have a green mana up, though, I'm definitely going to go Mana Crypt. I'm going to destroy this Fast Bond. If they want to make a 2020 on their turn, it's fine because I have the Caracas. So at least the Fast Bond is gone, so the Loam's a little less scary. I assume they will still dredge the Loam. There's a Thespian stage and a Ghost Quarter. Wow, that covers a lot of my things. Now they're going to loan those back. This could be a problem. They have a way to remove my Caracas and a way to make the 2020. They're gonna hit the Ghost Quarter Wasteland now, or I do have second planes. I could theoretically hit this Taiga. With I guess they wastelanded now. Yeah, I need. Man, like an Archon would have been really great, right? I need creatures that win the game. There's an Archon. It helps a little bit. I'm gonna have to hold this Caracas though, so they don't Ghost Quarter it. Need a clock next. There's a Mazavith, a Soken Zen, and a Saga. Wow. I think I lost this game, if I had to guess. The one, I assume there's one Haywire Mite in their deck. The one Haywire Mite killing the Leyline was really good. Maybe this will give me enough, just don't have enough damage, right? Maybe they'll make the 2020 to play around Wasteland, and I'll get to Caracas it. I feel like that's the only thing I have going for me here. Because it might be correct for them to play around Wasteland and just make a 2020. But they can just play Ghost Quarter and go one turn later as well, so... But if they make the 2020 now, I feel like we are in a decent spot. Not making it. They're not playing around Wasteland. Peacekeeper. That will force the activation, so... That's really good for me, I think. I think that's a quite a good draw. So this forces an activation on Thespian stage because I can name Thespian stage here. Then I'll just name Urza Saga. Wait, it doesn't? What is a drop of honey? That's a fog. Destroy the creature with the least power. It can't be regenerated. If you have two creatures, Jesus. There are no creatures in the battlefield sagas. Jesus. Okay. Talon Gates as well. I mean, I'm just gonna name Thespian stage, right? I can hold this Caracas for another whole turn. I do have a problem with this Saga, though. I don't think I do enough damage. So I can only attack in the air now. I guess these are 1/1, so I can continue attacking on the ground. I don't think I'm winning this game, considering my opponent has another... They have a maze, and a gates, and a drop. Why haven't they played... Oh, they didn't play because they were going to make a 2020. But then they didn't make a 2020. So now they can play a tapped maze, maybe? Oh, I guess at any point they could Talon Gates to phase out. Wow, this is a weird... This is very weird. I'm not playing Legacy, am I? I don't have a lot of experience playing against lands. So what are they going to choose to do? They are going to phase out. Okay, so they're going to phase out, make a 2020, and I have a Caracas. It's great for me. Super good for me. Oh, wait, no, this phases out until, yeah, my turn. So they have to do it now, which is, like I said, it's very good for me. I've just been holding this Caracas the whole time. I still don't know if we have this game won yet, but it's certainly looking better. I probably was supposed to play Ruby at some point in this game, but I can only play one spell a turn, so... All right, they're going to make a 2020. I have the answer, and then they're going to be too far behind to come back. They should probably play the Drop of Honey, because then they can kill off the Archon, right? Yeah. Oh, they played a fast spawn instead. But they didn't play any more lands. Let's see. But I guess they get to kill this Archon on my upkeep, right? So... Should play this Ruby. I think I'm still lost, is what I'm looking at. Let's see. Oh, no, they didn't play the Drop of Honey. So now they don't have a way to kill the Archon. So now I'm definitely one. Wow. I think my opponent should not have played this fast bond. I'm so surprised. Destroy a creature with the least power. If they're two or more, you choose one of them. So they could just kill this Archon. They make a 1/1, but I guess if they have a second Haywire Might, they can bring another Haywire Might back in here. That gives you a block, gain 2, and live. That's pretty good. No, there's no second Haywire Might. There's just a Mox Diamond. I don't feel like my opponent played badly, per se. I think they had lots of different choices and avenues, and I'm playing around Caracas does not feel like the one you want to do, because it's only one Caracas or two Caracas tops, so... They could still have a draw on a crop rotation for turn, and then crop rotate into a Glacial Chasm. I'm probably not beating that. At the very least, this makes the video quite interesting, where I feel like the last two rounds were not very interesting. So we got that going for us, right? Do they have a crop rotation, or is this just drop of honey? Let's see. There should still be Ghost Quarter, drop of honey in their hand, right? No, they pitched Ghost Quarter. Green, green. Green, green. They haven't cast a spell yet, so they can cast a spell. Kind of makes me feel like they do have the crop rotation. No, they don't have the crop rotation. Okay. What a wild game. It's pretty cool, though. All right, cool. Round 4, we've hit Fantaman. This should finally be a nice matchup for our Clarion Dragon. I believe it's time. Perfect. I actually have a good hand, too, for it. All right. Fantaman. This is not a hand. This is a hand that I would make fun of someone for keeping. Planes go. But I think it's correct. I have a removal spell versus Lurrus. I have an Ancient Tomb into a Conqueror. I think this hand's acceptable. If my opponent was not on Lurrus, I don't think I would allow anyone to keep this hand. But Lurrus does change things. That being said, my opponent could just go Mox PO, and then I'll die. So we'll see. Dragon. I mean, this art is really cool. What are you doing with a basic plains? Opponent. Oh, opponent. I'm just gazing at the field of flowers. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. We're taking a peek. You can take a look at take a little look-see. They are. All right. Well, I hope it's a... I don't know. Okay, Mox Emerald and Bauble means it's probably Breach or okay, well, that's a little unfortunate, isn't it? Oh my lord. Okay. For some reason I don't think my Conqueror is resolving here. I mean, this is the problem with keeping planes go, but yeah, this is quite a high power draw from my opponent's deck. This is something to think about though. A lot of our previous Lurrus heuristics are kind of out the window now that combo Lurrus has been put back into the forefront with Stock Up. Stock Up has done some interesting things to the format in terms of making some of the decks that were people didn't really consider very viable strong options. I will be unable to make this Conqueror uncounterable, which means it's highly likely that this Conqueror is not resolving against my opponent who resolved double Stock Up, but we'll see. It's a little unfortunate that my opponent didn't go for Lurrus with Bauble Loop, because at least I have a Swords in that point, but that's probably why they didn't do it, because I just led basic planes. So they know my top card. My top card was a Vexing Bauble. I don't think I can... Can I wait on a Vexing Bauble? Can I play a Vexing Bauble? It runs into negation. I feel like it's bad. I think I'd rather just slam the Conqueror. They might have like picked negation off of their... Yeah, they might have like picked negation off of their Stock Up so that they could counter the Bauble that they knew about, you know? The Conqueror resolved and they're back down to 1 mana, so... Ancestral, maybe? Lorien revealed. Tundra Swords. Underground Sea. This should be Breach. Alright, so now... Now I will play a Bauble. think I might win this game on the back of just purely Conqueror. Is that true? I guess I didn't find any counter magic off of stock up. Interesting. They went 10 cards deep and found no counter magic off their stock up. That's kind of weird. Unlucky. That's the kind of thing that would happen to me. Is Phantom Man trying to become the next... I am actually level 2? A Braid! Killing my Clarion Conqueror. Jeez. Okay. That can't be good for me. Now my opponent just has like a Breach. I guess a Breach could be hard because I have a Bobble. I'm definitely forging. We're definitely trying to win this game as fast as possible. All right. Trap ya. Beat me now. Through a Vexing Bubble. Which Enchanter? Sure. Seems fine. These things are unblockable, so... So my opponent needs to play a Breach and then use the Abrade to kill the Bobble. I guess they get to kill me pretty easily if they find... yeah, I guess all they need to do is find a Breach and it still kills me. Abrade is so good. I know there are some staunch Abrade haters in the Breach section of the Discord, but this card is killing artifacts like Bobble and Null Rod and also killing creatures. It's going to be pretty important if this sees a lot of play. I definitely... Like, this is a great example of why you should be playing Abrade and not something like, what was the weird, Ancient Grudge. You know, Sean's a big Ancient Grudge believer, but you need to get rid of these problematic creature permanents, so... I think my opponent is going to win the game here because they found their one Abrade, or maybe two of Abrade. All they need to do is find a Breach, Breach Abrade, kill the Bobble, and then combo kill. But they might, maybe they don't find it. I don't know. They're a million cards deep. Could happen. Weird things have happened. My opponent has cast 3 stock ups in this game, though. This is a game where Conqueror did look good, though. I must admit, this was quite a good Conqueror game. All right, that should kill us, right? Let's just vamp for Breach, Abrade. Here's Breach. Here's Abrade. I guess they did need the second red source. So it was actually important that they time walked and had a land, because now they have Breach, they have Abrade, and then they can Lotus. I guess I should be able to sack this Bobble. Abrade. Draw a card. All right, we knew there was a Wish Enchanter, actually. So now they're free. All they need to do is cast the Brain Freeze. They could even vamp for it. Oh, Gifts. Yeah, sure. Gifts will do it. Oh, yeah. I don't need to see this. Maybe I'll make them make the pile. It certainly does it, though. Basically, every 3 and a blue spell is going to win from here. Gifts will win, PO would win, and even Waterlogged Teachings would win. But I do like to see this Gifts Ungiven thing happening. I'm not sure that I would register the card Gifts Ungiven, but it's kind of cool to see it being played. All right, so they're Lurrus Breach. I'm going to bring in Leyline. I'm going to be boarding out Anointed Peacekeepers, Swords. I'm going to keep in March. I'm going to keep in my artifacts for now. The question is, do I want to bring in any Null Rods? But we might just not need to bring in Null Rods. I think it might just be that I have too many Null Rods in my deck now that I have this Clarion Conqueror, right? They kind of serve different purposes. Not different purposes, but different timings and stuff. Like if you're playing against Jewel, right, you can go Ancient Tomb Null Rod on turn 1, and something's like a little bit harder to do with Conqueror. It's probably correct that I should have less Null Rods in my sideboard, but I didn't think that far ahead. I mean, hell, I even have a Stonecoil Serpent in my sideboard, so clearly I wasn't thinking much at all. Yeah, let's run it like this. I think 4 Null Rod, 4 Leyline is totally acceptable. So a Braid was great there for my opponent. Clearly answered a Conqueror that was doing a lot of work. The Conqueror did look good, even though it was kind of a medium hand, right? It was a Plains into an Ancient Tomb. This hand does not have enough mana, sadly. I would totally keep this if I had an additional mana source, though. It's a very good hand if I have a mana source. The mana source, like, this hand slaps, but I think we have to put it back. This hand is probably acceptable. And then we'll put back one of our wastelands. So lets me play a Archon on turn 2, and then if I draw a land in my next 2 turns, I can play the Seasoned Engineer after. Or, hear me out, I can draw a Chancellor of the Annex. That seems like a good time. Gotta force. Okay. I should probably have led this Ruby without playing my land first. If I did that by accident, probably did. That way I could theoretically have baited a negation from my opponent. That's a small thing, but it's a really important thing. Sequencing matters. I didn't even think about it. I just wanted to play my things and hit F6, which is probably not good. Land. Mox is fine. All right. Well, if this one gets forced as well, that would be a problem. Can't get abraded. I already played my land for turn, right? No, I haven't. Played my plains and F6. All right. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. They haven't cast really anything of merit here. They've just forced a spell. I'm going to go down the Forge. I think it makes sense to try to close this game out as fast as possible. I think they're going to cast Gifts Ungiven here. I'm going to do this before they know what my top card is. I guess I should have done that in beginning of combat then. I want to Wasteland before second main, and the reason is if my opponent plays Gifts Ungiven here, they don't know about my Witch Enchanter killing the Emerald, is what my main thing is that I was focusing on. Hitting the Black Source could be wrong. I could see that. I don't know what they're gonna get with this Gifts Ungiven. I need to make sure I choose the right cards, though. Search your library for up to 4 cards in your name, then your opponent chooses 2 of them. The chosen cards go into the graveyard. The rest go into hand. And there is no graveyard, so I'm putting 2 cards into the graveyard here. Oh, I hit the Black Source. They must have another Black Source, though. So I am going to... put the Virtue's Ruin and the Chain of Vapor into their hand. No, I'm going to put the Virtue's Ruin and the Chain of Vapor into the graveyard. Those are the 2 answers to the Seasoned Engineer. And then they're going to have Demonic Tutor and Frog. Both of those are going to cost the black. I could theoretically... Yeah, okay. I'm going to put Chain and Virtue's Ruin into the graveyard, which are going to go into exile. And then I am going to cast the Witch Enchanter and blow up the Mox. So my opponent has a Psychic Frog and a Virtue's Ruin in their hand. Oh, sorry. They have a Psychic Frog and a Demonic Tutor in their hand. Both of those are going to take them a while to get going. So, and also if Psychic Frog doesn't do anything against my unblockable Dungeoneer, which is killing them on the next turn here. Could be killing them on the next turn, depending on if I hit a land or non-land. The Witch Enchanter does make it so I'm killing, but if they play a Frog, they can make it so I'm not killing unless I hit the non-land. So Chain of Gifts Ungiven is a lot worse when there's Leyline of the Void in play. So do they have like a second? Yeah, no, they don't even have a second Chain of Vapor to Demonic for. So okay, that one I think we played a little bit better, slowly but surely. I do feel that Leyline of the Void is extremely good against some of the current builds of Lurrus Breach. It was always a historical problem with Lurrus Breach that they didn't have great answers to Leyline, and some of the builds are still ignoring that. It is better than they used to be because you still have, you know, Frog, but you don't even have 4 Sagas anymore. And even when there was 4 Sagas, people were saying Leyline was an issue, so. Vexing Bubble's still good. Chalice is still good. I'm just gonna resubmit with this. So far, so good in this match. Obviously, my opponent had a broken game 1 hand. I didn't keep a equally broken one, but it was still kind of close. This hand is totally acceptable. I'm gonna keep it for sure. Let's see how far this ley line can take me. I don't have a white card to put on this Chrome Mox right now. I'm hoping to draw a white card that I care less about on this first turn here. Three cards in my opponent's hand. I'm trying to bait negation. Trying to figure out the best way to bait negation. I am going to put nothing underneath this Mox, I think. I'm trying to get that counter. All right. I'm not going to actually put anything under this Mox. I just wanted to see if I could bait it. This does put me farther away from getting the Seasoned Engineer in play, but this might have been overthinking it, but I kind of wanted to see if I could get my opponent to negate the Mox. It's the kind of thing. Wait. Oh, I immediately got my ley line chained. I see. I wish I could put the freaking ley line under the Mox. Man. I would have killed to put the ley line under the Mox. Then I could have played the Seasoned Engineer this turn without drawing an Ancient Tomb. But I'm probably strip mining anyways. Play the Saga, play the thingy. Okay. Probably have to strip mine the Saga. Oh, that's going to be pretty good for next turn, yeah. I guess I don't have to strip mine the Saga. Well, if they have another Mox, then it's pretty bad. I'm pretty sure I'm strip mining the Saga. Mana Crypt's a good draw. I can't play the Seasoned Engineer this turn, though, because of Archon of Emeria rules. But I can do it next turn. It just does let them do a bunch of spinning. But the downside of like my opponent having a spin into a Mox here and then making Saga tokens feels too high. I probably should have... No. No, I just instinctively went for the C anyways. Okay, well. I don't know, like I just sat there and talked with you guys about why I would make the play I made and then just make the opposite play anyways. Okay. I mean, there's a reason you can make this play. It's because you have a Seasoned Engineer and it doesn't actually matter that they have constructs, but if it's just a land, the Archon makes it come in tapped, but they have a Mox. Okay, well, I mean, I talked through why I was going to do it, and I just blanked at the last minute again. Second Archon. I mean, these constructs are huge, right? Am I actually going to race them with a Mana Crypt in play? It's going to be close. It is going to be close. They did have to have exactly a Mox, though, in their top 3, so I don't know. There's like a reasonable risk there. God, I mentioned they have like force blue card for this, and then they make 2 constructs and kill me. Well, I think it's fine. As long as I am like talking about why I'm trying to make the plays I'm trying to make, then it seems like it's a fine play. I just misclicked, you can call it. This does mean they take the initiative, right? I don't know if that's a problem either. I could always find Witch Enchanters too, though. 5/5. It's gonna be close. I will have blockers. Found a Jet. Not a Lotus. Guess they were trying to get in for 6. Oh, this gets them a basic. Jesus Christ. It's so bad for me. Yeah, I do think I lost this game just on that misclick, so that's okay. Let's see what happens. I still have some draws here. They do have spins and stuff, though. I've been doing a good job of getting punished for choices today. I drew another ley line. That is not good. I do think I need to attack with both and then chump block with the second Archon, so... I can't even realistic... Okay, I got my... Okay. I got my protection ability consigned. Alright. Even if I block, I don't have my Dungeoneer anymore, so I'm gonna lose. This game could have been easily fixed by just making the play I said I was going to make by wastelanding the Saga, but yeah, sometimes that happens. Ooh, we found a content creator. We got some some Kai on the other side of the table. I know he's playing some Lurrus Breach recently, so that's probably what we're looking at here. Can't imagine putting this back, but it is not a very great hand. See what we can do. So far in this league, I feel like we... Oh, it's PO. Oh, it's Lurrus PO. Let's see. They have he's got 2 removal spells in his hand. All right. Mox Sapphire. Taste it. Gotta slow him down. Can't let him cast Thunder Trap Trainer. Seasoned Dungeoneer. It's a pretty good one. Pretty sure that's the plan. Do I want to hold Wish Enchanter? I don't think so. Draw Force? Nope. No Force. Is it enough? That's the next question here. All right, what's my next draw? Plains? Wait, no. White Plume Adventurers enter the revealed zone. No, I want that. It's a 4/4 now. Can't get a braided. Found the land, so Thunder Trap Trainer time. I guess if this Thunder Trap Trainer hits a Black Lotus, then what? I don't know, actually. Thunder Trap Trainer. Took an Emerald. Play an Emerald. Okay. I feel like we're getting to the point where I'm naming PO, huh? Fortune. I can go in the graveyard. We don't need that. So now they kind of have to. I guess if they go to the next turn, they just die. No, they. If they don't block here, I play White Plume and trap them. If they do block here, they can't really play a Flames of Anor. But I think that's too late anyways. But like maybe they want to not block and try to go for a PO. But it might not matter. Because we know their whole hand here. If they don't block, they die to the White Plume here. If they do block, then we play... I mean, we still play White Plume, but... Oh, wait, no, we don't play White Plume. We're actually short. If they do block, then we play Peacekeeper. If they don't block, then we play White Plume. This hand slapped. It just put the beats down. So they blocked, so they're not dead to initiative. So we'll just cast Anointed Peacekeeper. And we'll name PO. That way if they draw Mox, they can't just like PO off on us. Mox. For 2 mana. Not the strongest Mox. They have Stock Up and they have Flames, but they're dead. If they do Flames and if they do Stock Up, they would have to hit Clarion Mana Crypt or something, maybe? I don't know. Clarion Mana Crypt doesn't even... Yeah, does that do it? No, I don't even think it does it. All right. Well, I am... Those actually, Peacekeepers did really work there. Did a lot of work there, but I think I'm not going to have Peacekeepers this time. I think I'm going to have 4 more Null Rods. True or false? Don't really want swords. Containment Priest. Yeah, so we're just going to have 10 Null Rods in our deck. Seems good. That's not 10, Justin. There are 8 Null Rods in your deck, but there's a Chalice and a Bauble, which somehow got added to my math. This has been an interesting league. I apologize, of course, for the misplays, and there were a lot of them. I've been not playing very much Magic recently. I've been playing in the Box TFT boot camp. I'm about 100 games into the new TFT set. I'm ranked. I'm in the 200s on the ladder, so not great, but not in a bad spot. It's a 3-life system, so I've already lost 1 life. And I'll probably lose a life the next 2 days, if I had to guess. So I probably will be out of the Box boot camp by Wednesday night, the end of Wednesday night. So it means I'm likely streaming on Wednesday night, unless I'm like in range to survive. If I'm in range to survive, then maybe I'll push off the Wednesday night stream. We'll see. But yeah, it's been a really fun experience. I'm in the pro division now because that's about where I am. If I was in the advanced division, I think I'd be at the top or around the top of the advanced division, which makes sense. Yeah, I'd be like 3rd or 4th at the moment out of 80. Right now I'm in the pro division and I'm like 50th out of 80 or something. Yeah, 54th. So it's been fun. But yeah, I haven't been playing very much Magic. It's been nice because I was a little burnt out from playing so much for the showcase. So it's a good time to take. It was a good time to take a break, anyways. Hopefully that will leave me with room to do experimenting with the new sets and new cards. This hand looks very good again. I've had a couple of really nice Ancient Tomb White Source openers. Chancellor's obviously worse on the draw, but that's okay. I'm not really sure when you're supposed to like take Chancellor out, play or draw, because a lot of the times, I don't know. It's very tough to say. Let's see what my opponent has to say about Chrome Mox. Letting it resolve. They do know I have a Chancellor, so that does make my Chrome Mox stronger. So they can counter this paying the 1. Would I guess I'm gonna make them counter the Archon. I don't know. Like, it's very clearly signals to me they have force for the Archon. But I also don't think we're gonna have a fast enough clock if I like played the Dungeoneer and got it countered. Like, I'm not convinced that this hand with Archon is going to win. It's tough. All right, got the force here. Pitching Snapcaster Mage, paying the 1. That's what I'm saying. Chancellor doesn't really do anything here, but it's fine. It pitched there. I am going to play out this Emerald, though. If they want to trap it for whatever reason, that's fine. Though, he's probably playing the Unlucky Monkey list, so Unlucky Monkey does not play traps. Lorien revealed. Underground Sea. Mana Vault. Okay, so now I'm going to change up my plan. Yeah, I'm going to change up my plan slightly here. I'm going to actually just cast this Witch Enchanter, killing the Mana Vault. I'm going to try to use up my Moxen before I play my Conqueror here. So that gets rid of the Mana Vault. And I am going to play this as a tap land. That way I have some white sources that I can use to play this Conqueror later. That being said, if my opponent like puts together a Trainer into Flame of Anor here, that will just outdraw us. They have a lot of lands this time, so the Conqueror might not be that good against this particular draw. We'll see. Stock ups on the stack. Any Moxen, or are we a go? We're a go. Mox of my own, huh? All right, let's see what Seasoned Dungeoneer looks like on the stack here. It's a Resolving Seasoned Dungeoneer. We get a basic Plains. And then I'm going to turn off Moxen. See what happens. This is the point of the game where I think Conqueror makes a lot of sense. Closing out a game. Ancestral off of stock up, sure. 7 cards in my opponent's hand. Here's an Academy. Just gonna make these things actually make mana. A little annoying. Again, we're not clocking very fast. So something like a Thundertrap Trainer into a Flames of Anor. That's the thing I'm the most worried about. Another Moxen. This is a mana crypt. So it comes with some downside, but makes more mana. Clarion Academy is a big save for them here. So Clarion Academy lets you play through this Null Rod pretty effectively. So much mana. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. And a pass. They might have a Flames of Anor that they're just going to use as removal here. I'm definitely going to Forge, but I'm going to Forge onto my Witch Enchanter, which is my least valuable creature. So that way if they remove like one of the more valuable creatures, then that's fine. If they want to spend the 3 mana to kill the Witch Enchanter, then whatever. Blue. Red. Flame of Anor. I feel like we played this correctly. Which one are you going to flame? You're going to flame the Conqueror, I assume. If I had flamed... flame the Dungeoneer. Sure. That doesn't seem to matter that much. So we're attacking for 5. I guess if they don't flame the Dungeoneer, then theoretically later I could make it bigger. Don't know. And a blue. Oh, and a Consign to Memory. I see. Keep getting Consigned to Memory here. Yeah. So no +1/+1 counters. And I have a thing I can't cast. If I have no Clarion in play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually can cast my Chancellor if they had killed the Clarion, which is pretty funny. Okay. Mana Crypt flip. Won the Mana Crypt flip. They have 1, 2, 6 mana. They can buy and play Lurrus if they want to. Oh, they have white, yeah. And Needle. What is Needle doing? I guess it's just 1 mana, so it's fine. Needle Wasteland, I assume. Yeah, makes sense. Buy Lurrus, play Lurrus. They have 1 card left besides Lurrus. They're getting trapped here, which is putting them to 6, which is not a lethal attack, unfortunately. I guess it could be a lethal attack if the Mana Crypt flips. So that means I don't have to attack with the Witch Enchanter at all. Oh, okay. Sure, yeah, why not? Now they're at 1. Second Mana Crypt flip, survey says. They won the Mana Crypt flip. Another Mox. They're just gonna die in the air to the Conqueror, though. They have a PO. They have a Momentum Breaker. Can you... Oh, you can't play Lurrus and replay Momentum Breaker. They just don't have enough black sources. So they're gonna die in the air to this. GG's. All right. Clarion look good here. Clarion look good here. Oh, gain life equal to speed. That's only 1, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, wait a second. So this was a 2-3, but I think realistically, if I played peak capacity or, you know, maybe someone better, more tuned in pilot played, I think this was like a 4-1. If we realistically looked at these games, the Wessel game could have been won by playing around Mindbreak Trap, and the Phantom Man game could have been won by... I can't remember what it was. I feel like I did something wrong, but I can't remember what it was. But overall, I think this was actually a 4-1, which is pretty good. Good sign. Obviously, this deck is misbuilt a little bit. There's probably no need to have 4 Null Rods in the sideboard, and obviously the stupid Stonecoil Serpent was hiding way over in the corner. So he played with 1 card down in the sideboard and also some extra Null Rods that probably aren't necessary. As for main deck configuration, this looks fine, but we did notice a lot of the time that Conqueror had issues with mana. I'm not sure that you're supposed to resolve those issues, but they're definitely there. That being said, if you're always playing Conqueror as like your 3rd option, it doesn't seem that bad. A lot of times you're going to want to play Archon on turn 1, Initiative on turn 2, and then Conqueror on turn 3. Which is weird because that's not really what you want to be doing. Like, that's not the whole point of Null Rod on turn 1, stopping your opponent from using Moxen is like, it's the whole point, you know? So I don't know. I don't really know what the answer here is. Until they print the white spirit guide, I'm not sure how you would even fix the problem, but I definitely see the vision here. This card is definitely good. It's just... how much does it cost you, and is that cost worth it? That's up for mono white players to decide. All I know is I'm going to be very annoyed seeing this card from the PO side. I'm sure I'm going to have to build my decks with lots of extra weird removal. It actually is pretty annoying because I was building a new PO list recently. PO has kind of fallen off in the metagame at the moment. So I've been building a new PO list to combat the current metagame, and it relies heavily on Portable Hole. And this thing does not get hit by Portable Hole. So that plan probably needs to be scrapped and thrown out the window. Yeah. Hopefully you were able to enjoy and find this league insightful, even with the mediocre plays by its pilot. I'm hoping to get back in the swing of things by the end of the week, playing more Vintage Magic the Gathering for you. New videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.